Madam Speaker, we're here tonight as members of the House Energy Action Team to discuss the Biden administration's assault on American energy. His policies have hurt our constituents, and tonight, members of the HEAT team will talk about how these actions continue to harm their districts. The last 9 months have painted a portrait of what the Biden administration's energy policies mean for our country. And, Madam Speaker, it's not a pretty picture. As we speak, Biden's allies in Congress intend to pass their $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation package only that will make the situation worse. Let's take the natural gas tax, for example. It will increase everyday Americans' bills by hundreds of dollars and destroy hundreds and thousands of American family-sustaining jobs. This will rob opportunity from the very communities that I represent in Pennsylvania and hundreds of towns just like that, and we'll hear more about that this evening. This tax is a solution in search of a problem, and it's creating that problem. The United States has led the world in reducing greenhouse emissions in the last 2 decades, and the energy industry is voluntarily reducing methane emissions. Innovation is the ultimate answer to cutting emissions, and we cannot afford to stifle advancement. As a nation, we cannot tax our way to cleaner environment. And Americans are fed up with taxes. The biggest tax that our citizens are now facing is inflation. Across the board, prices are rising. The energy sector is particularly worrisome, with gas prices climbing 63% in my home state of Pennsylvania. This cost falls disproportionately on low-income Americans. It's not fair for them to foot the bill for the policy preferences of liberal coastal elites. Let's take another example of the Biden administration's war on American industry. In their attempt to enact provisions of the Green New Deal, they have smothered American innovation. For years, our nation has been at the cutting edge in nearly every sector of the economy. From cyberspace to advances in manufacturing, America has always stayed one step ahead of its competition. But that's starting to change. American researchers and developers have always been able to count on the access to the resources needed to manufacture new pioneering products. But a rising China threatens that access. Of the 35 essential minerals listed for the U.S. economic and national security, China is the top producer or top supplier of 23 of them. China controls the production of 80% of rare earth elements, 70% of graphite, almost 60% of lithium, and almost 60% of vanadium, and 36% of cobalt. Products like batteries and semiconductors that are needed in the liberals' remaking of the America require large amount of these rare earth elements. The good news is that we have them right here within our borders. The bad news is that under the Biden administration's burdensome regulations, companies are unable to mine these very elements that are under the ground that we stand on. We need to unshackle the American worker and allow businesses to extract these minerals so that we can make the products of the future right here at home instead of relying on foreign rivals. As the last 9 months have clearly shown, these policies are not the right way forward. Congress must continue to embrace a bottom-up innovation that will result in leaps in efficiency far greater than any mandate, instead of expensive taxes that will take money out of working Americans' pockets. We have a great group of colleagues here tonight from the House Energy Action Team to talk about how their individual communities are being affected by this administration. And I'd like to start by yielding to the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Balderson,